Hey everybody, Ryan Dalgliesh, the teaching pastor at the 456. Hope that you are doing okay as quarantine 2020 continues. I think it's been, like 4 weeks now, 4.5 weeks, something like that. And it is probably kind of wearing you out. One of the things that I want to remind you about is that just because circumstances have changed and just because life is a little bit different, we're back to homeschooling, or maybe if you've never done homeschooling, you're doing homeschooling with your kids and you're trying to figure out how to manage groceries, homeschool, work, and just manage life. It is easy to get worn out. It's easy to be tired. It's easy to be frustrated. And so one of the things that I wanted to remind you of is 1 Corinthians 13. I'm just going to read these verses. They're verses that are familiar to you. You probably have them somewhere in your house in calligraphy. But it says this. It says, "Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It's not arrogant or rude. Doesn't insist on its own way. Is not irritable or resentful. Does not rejoice at wrongdoings, but rejoices with truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails." It would be good for us in these moments to be vigilant, to be diligent, to be careful that the attitude that we have towards our family, our friends that we're quarantined with, that it is an attitude of love. Now, 1 Corinthians 13, Paul is specifically talking about spiritual gifts there, but he's telling Christians, he's telling followers of Christ how to use their spiritual gifts. And a spiritual gift done without love has no value. And so think about it like this: getting the homeschool stuff done, but without love doesn't carry the same value. Getting food on the table, but without love doesn't have the same weight. That anything we do apart from the love of Christ doesn't carry the same worth. Paul says it this way. He says in 1 Corinthians 13, "If I have the ability to speak in the tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I'm a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I know all mysteries, if I submit my body to be burned, but I have not love, it has no value. It profits me nothing, and it doesn't profit anyone else." And so be vigilant of all the things you could do. Look, schoolwork will get done. Groceries will end up, and maybe peanut butter and jelly and ramen noodles will be kind of the meal of the day for the next few days or whatever. But let our focus be to do all things in love. Let our focus be to love the people we are quarantined with. Some of you may say trapped with, right? Maybe you're feeling trapped. Let our attitude be to be an attitude of love, that we would show people patience and kindness, and that we wouldn't be resentful, and that we wouldn't keep records of wrongs, and that we would bear all things, and that we would be able to put up with one another. And so one of the ways that I find helpful to be loving towards people, perhaps that maybe haven't been loving to me, or just when I'm tired or when I'm frustrated, is to intentionally remind myself that God loves me. Now, the reason I say intentionally is because any believer you ask and you say, "Hey, does God love you?" Any believer you ask is probably going to say, "Yeah, I believe God loves me." But to intentionally remind myself that God loved me when I was a sinner, that He loved me when I didn't love Him back, that He is forgiving of me when I've screwed up 100 times in one day. And so if we will remind ourselves that God loves us, it will enable us better to be lovers of those people who we are quarantined with. And so contemplate, if you would, just read through 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8, ponder for just a moment, and just remind yourself that there is a God in heaven who loves you, who cares for you, who cherishes you, who shows grace to you, to me. He's forgiving of us. And let that be something that kind of resets your attitude of love for your family over these next few days. We don't know how much longer this is going to go on, but wouldn't it be wonderful if we came out of this in another few weeks or another couple of months, and we came out of this and we don't find ourselves with an increasing irritation towards one another, but we've found ourselves with an increase in love for one another. And so let that be our aim, that this would be an opportunity for us to shower one another with love and to care for one another with love, and let that be something that God grows in your heart in this time. I love you. The church loves you. We miss you guys, and we hope to see you guys soon face to face. And if there's anything you need, please don't hesitate to email us or reach out to us, shoot us a text, and let us get you some food if you need some food, and if you need any kind of aid. All right. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Have a good week.